Range looks like a 20-cent range on the July contract. SEP is down 3 3/4 at 731.5, and D's down 2 1/2, 746 even. I got my guest Oliver Slope in this morning. He is this afternoon. He is with Blue Line Futures. Oliver, you're batting clean up here, sir. Tell me what you're going to do here at the close.
Oh, well, it's been a wild week, but that's kind of the norm for this time of year, right? When we started the week, we were kind of coming in on a high note. You and I talked Monday morning when corn was trading higher, 475 being a very important level psychologically and technically. That was basically the breakdown point from the January 12th WASDE report. And the fact that we weren't really able to chew through there without any sort of conviction, I think, invited some of the people who had been covering shorts over the last couple months to maybe step back in at a little bit better a price. So now we're seeing the market retreat over the last several sessions, coming back into what I'm referring to as a must-hold support pocket here into the end of the week, 455 area, give or take a couple pennies. This was support back in January, the breakdown point in February, and then was resistance for about 9 days through the month of March and the eventual breakout point on May 2nd. So there's been a lot of interaction between buyers and sellers here at that 455 area. A break and close below there, and you might get some additional technical selling into the weekend. I'm crossing my fingers, though, that we'll be able to hold it here.
Yeah, and the weather, I did see the weather. I saw Tim and Jeff both show a lot of rain still coming in to those areas there, but we still have a little bit of time left, too. Even if we spend another week in the rain, if we can eventually get it dried out, it seems like we still be able to get just about every acre into the ground.
Yeah, the farmers are pretty good at what they do and getting the crop in the ground eventually. And even when we do get the crop in the ground, we're not out of the woods, right? We still have the whole growing season left. And that's, where you see this seasonal volatility come into play. And that can be visualized by the CME Group CVOL index found on cvol.com. Or you typically start to see the volatility rise in the May, June, and then kind of peak out in July. And I think that's really just kind of what we're heading into right now. I think some complacency maybe over the last couple months of, a slow, monotonous trade. But this is the time when things come alive. So I'm excited to see the markets moving again.
Well, and I can understand that clearly because we want every opportunity that we can see out there. And with this 20-cent range that we've got in the corn market now and probably close to 40-50-cent range in the soybean market, it gives our farmers a whole lot of opportunity to be able to do some stuff in. So stick around with me. I want to talk a little bit about livestock with you when you come back. This is Chris Swift. Y'all stay with us. Back in again. Oliver, what do you see there coming into the close here you want to do on the cattle market?
Well, cattle market has had an impressive day, that's for sure. It certainly exceeded my expectations, seeing live cattle, feeder cattle continue to grind higher. You and I have talked about it several times, probably just likely to see consolidation as some of these maybe bigger funds step to the sidelines. I know there's been some concerns over avian flu. We haven't really gotten any new headlines there, which is nice to see. But I think there's still some lingering concerns from fund managers with regards to the outside markets and the economy, as we've seen kind of a trend of softer data here over the last week or week and a half. And that may keep buyers at bay for the time being. Funds on the Commitment of Traders report pretty neutral, around 40,000 contracts net long. So I think just kind of sitting on their hands, waiting for the dust to settle in that market. The lean hog market, that's been a wild ride today, almost a $4 range in that June contract. We've been tethered to $98 for the last week and a half, but it feels like it wants to take a direction. Just not sure what side it wants to take yet as we fly around on both sides of unchanged today.
When we look at that hog market, we haven't seen the index. It just creeps up a little bit. And between yesterday and today, I saw today's up. It was a little bit. But that seems like a pretty wide basis to have to kind of converge as we're within the last three weeks now.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I think, you're starting to see the market work towards that, and we will see some convergence there. I was talking to some guys this morning who are heavily involved in the hog market, and they're still pretty darn optimistic that we can see these futures markets work higher. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. But again, that June contract with the shot clock winding down, it'll certainly be something to keep an eye on. Most
definitely. Oliver, really do appreciate you taking the time to be with us this morning. As Oliver Slope is with Blue Line Futures. And